Alright guys, so these are some aluminum valve covers he brought over. So obviously this one looked like this one. The top of it was actually pretty pitted. So I kind of went after it with 180 and then came back with 320 on this one. So I'm going to take them into work and I'm going to paint them because we have a sealer product there that is specifically made for an adhesion property for metal. That's the big claim to fame. Supposedly you don't even have to sand parts. You can just seal it with this stuff and it'll lock it all in and then paint right over it. So there they are, and show you what they look like when they're all done. Alright guys, so we're at work. So I have 2 coats of BASF RM sealer, which is 875 is what it's called. And its special claim to fame is that it has an adhesion promoter in it. So it's very expensive, just because it has the adhesion promoter on it. So I'm going to let that set up for about 20 minutes and then I'm going to start basing it and then we're going to clear it. Alright guys, so we got 3 coats of base over the 875 sealer. So I'm going to mix up some clear and we're going to clear them up. Good morning guys. So in my area of Florida we have a lot of water oaks and the pollen is just unbelievable. So my allergies are flaring up really bad. So the owner of the car is coming over in a little bit, and he got a roll cage bar. So the bar, you cut a section out of the roll cage and then you put this bar in and it hinges. So when he opens up the door, he can open up the bar, he can get in, him and his wife can get into the car comfortably. So they're gonna come, he's gonna be over here with the bar, and he bought one to see if he likes it and if it'll work, and then we're gonna weld it in, and then if everything goes well, he'll get the one for the other side. So anyway, I apologize for this whole mess, so today I'm gonna kind of take it easy. I do have some rust repair I have to do on that one door that we discovered when we pulled the door off last weekend, but today I'm gonna put the core support back in. Maybe while he's here, he'll want to put the radiator back in, get the hoses all ran, so all that's done. Might as well, because today I'm pretty much sneezing, eyes are watering, and my nose is just uncontrollably just letting go of whatever it wants to, whenever it wants to. But anyway, yesterday I took short videos of me painting the valve covers at work. I took them in there because I don't have any 875 sealer, which is the BASF sealer. That sealer, big thing is that it can go directly over metal for one thing, and it has a very strong adhesion promotion for metal, right? So I guess you could call it kind of like an epoxy primer of some sort. It is a 3-part sealer, which means that you have to, it actually has an activator that goes into it to be awesome. I mean, without getting into the whole chemical makeup of it, which I don't want to get into, the whole product is just amazing for that. Supposedly, why we have it at work is we deal with a lot of new parts. So like if there's an accident or whatever like that, we put a new fender on it, new whatever. Supposedly, you can take that part out of the box, hand it to the painter. The painter can seal it with these parts, paint it, and there is a guarantee that it will not flake off. At work, we still sand down the parts with 320, but it's just another extra part, another extra protection for the part. So, give me 1 second, and I'll bring over the valve covers and I'll show you the finished product on that. So here's the finished product on the valve covers. So these are aluminum. Obviously I sanded them all down with 320. Well, first off, I went with 180 on a couple spots because the whole tops were aluminum. Doesn't rust, it oxidizes, so it gets kind of like this powdery white stuff. It's aluminum's version of rust, right? So I sanded it all down with 180, and then did the 320 over that, and then all in all these little areas right here that you can't really get a DA in or anything like that. Red Scotch-Brite with 320, took them into work. Wax and grease, removed them a couple times with the Scotch-Brite, the red Scotch-Brite. Then I cleaned it with our water solvent cleaner stuff, and then yeah, 2 coats of the RM875, which is the sealer, 3 coats of the base blue, and then I did 3 coats of clear. And this is the Limco 4500 clear, which is the exact clear that we're using on the car. So anyway, so there's those are. So what I did was I just wire wheeled all the bolts for the, well, there's 2, to put the core support back in, clean them all up, and then we're gonna drop this in, and then he should be here pretty soon to start on that. He's not a big, when he's over here I don't really record anything, so I'll just show you the after, and then hopefully after we get that done, maybe my allergies will calm down here for a minute, and I'll start working on the door with the rust on the bottom. But in the meantime, I'm gonna put the core support in. So the core support bolts that I took out, I cleaned them up on the wire wheel, and a couple of the threads were stripped out so it wouldn't tighten down. So luckily I have a bin full of the right size bolts. So I put new bolts in it, and I put a lock washer, and they're all grade 8 bolts. So core support back in. Alrighty. Oof, these allergies are brutal. So the gentleman's not here quite yet, so I'm just gonna start making a template for this door repair panel. Let me swap you around and we will check it out. So that's what we got right here in the corner. So I'll probably make this in 2 pieces, one here and then one right here. See if I can get it focused in. So yep, so that's all got to be fixed. It looks like someone took a cutting torch to open this up for maybe a speaker. Yeah, let's see how far these door panels cover. If the door panels cover that, which I think they should, I won't worry about that. Well, I'll ask him what he wants to do about that, but this definitely has to be fixed. Now we can see it a little better. So that whole area needs to be replaced. Alright guys, so owner just left, spent the day putting in the radiator, put on the valve covers. Let me swap you around and show you how it all looks. Those valve covers look amazing and he's extremely happy with those. So hold on a second. So there they are. He fired it up while I was here. Yeah. And there we go. So I got the door bar welded in. I had never done one of these before, so he has done a lot of them. But I told him, hey man, while you're here, I'm going to put them in so I know how they work. So it's still a little warm because you got to burn in those welds pretty good. It's 120 wall tubing, and for him to still race this, you don't dress the welds. So whatever the welds look like, you have to leave them. So I really burn those in pretty good. You can see right across there. And then all it does is it just slides in. And then there's the pin. And then it pivots down there. Right there. And it needs like a 1/2 inch, 3/8 a 1/2 inch right here. So it clears. He called it bird mouthing. I guess that's kind of what you call it when you do roll cages. I've never done anything on a roll cage, so I'm not going to pretend I know. But it's bird mouth. So you pull the pin. Oh, hot. And then it just opens up. And then now you can get in. So now I'm going to get back on, it's already what, 2:30ish? So he got here about 11. He did all the motor stuff and I did all that door bar thing. So I've got one piece made just before he rolled up. You probably saw it, he had the white truck when he was rolling in. So I'm just fitting that piece in there like that. And then once I get that piece, now I'm going to make the next piece, so on and so forth. I'm probably just going to get these pieces made up. Maybe I'll tack them in and then weld them in tomorrow. But my allergies are really kicking my butt today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day as far as that goes. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm just going to work on this a little bit, set you up here like I got you, just to kind of show you the processes. You know, it's like everything else that I did on this, but still. Maybe just some tricks of how I do it, right? All right, let's finish this up.
I'm going to clean these welds up and then we'll see where we're at. All right, we got her all taped up. So and this primer up here I just sanded with 180 just to knock it down. Alrighty. And we did get the paint shaker mounted. So I'm just shaking up the epoxy primer. We'll mix her up and away we go. So I'm mixing up the epoxy primer. It's a 4:1:1. It's pretty thick, obviously. So what I'm planning on doing is just putting a good, probably one coat on there, just to kind of seal everything in. And then I have to give it 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to go directly on top of that with the 2K. So that's what they referred to, as I was talking before, wet on wet. So we'll see how this goes. When I say we'll see how this goes, this means how much of this I'm going to actually use up here on this. But you have to make sure you start really good. Got my fan going. Car taped up, ready to go. I just have to tack cloth it off. Today is the perfect day for this. Actually, today would have been a perfect day for painting. It rained in the morning. It got all the pollen down and all the dirt and everything else. So everything's kind of wet out there a little bit. But the sun's out now, and it's probably 70, 73 degrees. Between 70 and 75. So today would have been a really good day to paint. But I just figured, you know what, I need to get this all in one color, thus primer, so I can start blocking it out and all that. I'll finish the door up later on, but this morning I woke up and I said, today's going to be a good day. So let me get this in the gun and away we go. And I'm using that Amazon special with the 1.7 tip. It's amazing. So let me get after it. Be right back. Had to mix a second cup, so we'll put 2 cups on. We'll give that a 5-minute flash time and then we'll hit it again. So we'll give that about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll come back and top coat it with some 2K. All right, it's been almost an hour, about 50 minutes. So let me mix up the other primer and then we'll start putting 2K down. So as you can see, the epoxy primer is more of a greenish gray. This 2K primer is more of the bluish gray variety. So anyway, so 1.7 tip. We're just going to get after it. We'll let that set up and then we'll hit it again, about 5 minutes or so. Be right back. coats of primer. Let me clean out my gun, and we'll be back. Well, that wasn't so bad. Actually, yeah, there's like no overspray on anything. My truck's covered with pollen over here. Look at that thing. This is covered with yellow pollen. But yeah. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw a coat of guide coat over that. Then probably untape it, because that's what I do. And yeah, then we'll talk about it. Okay, so you guys saw I taped it off right here and there. So obviously I did something right because the tape didn't peel it. And then I actually sanded about 1/4 of an inch into the window channel and then taped it off right there. The door jambs. So this is basically like round 1 of priming. We'll see after we block it out if there's anything more that I have to do. I don't know if you can see it, but there are some sand scratches and a couple pinholes here and there. So, you know, it's stuff that you see after you prime it, right? And the whole back ledge. As you guys saw, I didn't tape from there down, but it's just really about the control of the gun. So obviously when I paint it, this will be back masked and then straight down, as well as inside the quarters there, right? And I straighten these down. It makes it easier to paint, but I tie wrap those down like 4 or 5 layers of wire, because these has got a lot of pressure on it and I don't need them to pop up and kill me. So that's got that. But overall, I like it that it's one color now. It's a lot easier to see, if that makes sense. Yep. And there she be. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up this weekend. It's about to start raining. It's thundering out. Plus I don't want to grind anything on that door, you know, to clean up the welds and stuff, because I just put that fresh primer down. I'm going to let that sit for at least a week to let everything settle. That's going to settle. It's kind of how I do it when I'm kind of doing these kind of jobs. And I did get some track systems for the curtains from work. We used to, a long time ago, we used to have a booth that had curtains, and yeah, like 10 years ago. But all the tracks are still laying in the back of the shop. So I asked the owner, I said, hey, can I have those tracks? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, dude. I didn't even know we still had them. We don't have the curtains anymore. He did get rid of those. I guess he threw them out or whatever. But I'm gonna start laying out the tracks up on the sides of my loft booth area. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for sticking it out, seeing me do the wet on wet primer, you know, the epoxy primer, give 45 minutes to an hour, and then come right back over it with 2K primer. That does have 2 coats of epoxy primer, and then 3 coats of 2K primer, and a guide coat. You guys are probably wondering, maybe you're wondering, I don't know, why I untaped it all. I think I always untape everything, just because it seems to be like a dust collector. Yeah, I could have sanded it all and it would have saved dust going everywhere inside. But for me personally, I like to pull all the tape off, all the paper, everything, and then always start fresh, new, everything. cleaner jobs. And my little setup in here with my big fan and blowing out the back like that, from what I could tell from priming it, it was like zero trash. So that's pretty awesome considering what's going on. But with the rain this morning, setting everything down, it was perfect for what I want, what the universe told me I was supposed to do today, and that was get that in primer. So thanks again for watching and sticking it out with me here on this project. I appreciate everybody that keeps coming back and watching the videos that I post up. Appreciate everyone that subscribed, hitting like, sharing some comments and stuff about things. Oh, about to start to rain hard. So again, I appreciate everything. Hit like, share, subscribe, all that other fun stuff they tell you. And remember to go out and build something cool, because you know, all it takes is a little bit of time and get her done. Thanks again. Bye.